Hello everyone. Welcome to the lecture Highway Survey and Design. Today, we will learn about highway road selection on cliff river sections. Although we don't often see cliffs in our daily lives, I guess you must have often seen them on the internet, like in some wonders or TV dramas. So, what is it like to build a highway on cliffs? Let's take a look together. You can see that this mountain highway winds around, with the mountain on one side and a cliff on the other, showing the great difficulty of construction. In mountainous river valleys, cliffs often intricately alternate on both sides. For river sections with cliffs on both banks, we refer to them as canyons. This is a picture of a canyon. The canyon is generally narrow with rapid water flow. Therefore, in the sections with cliffs and valleys, we need to determine the route plan based on hydrogeological conditions, the nature and task of the route standard, project size, and construction condition. For highway selection on cliff river sections, there are usually two methods: bypassing and crossing, and the decision for the final route plan is based on the 5 factors mentioned above. Let's first learn about bypassing. Bypassing means to circumvent or avoid. For lower-grade highways, there are 2 methods of bypassing. One is to cross over the top of the canyon's steep cliffs to select a favorable area for passage, requiring suitable terrain on the cliff top for layout. The other is to find an alternative ridge crossing route, requiring a nearby low pass that is basically in line with the route direction. Both methods share commonalities: increased route length and significant vertical undulation in the longitudinal slope, both requiring terrain suitable for setting up transition sections. It's worth noting, if the cliff top is too high or the canyon is not long, neither method is suitable. Let's look at a case where the river valley is winding and has nearly 5 kilometers of cliffs, making routing extremely difficult. In the map, the direction of the Wayao Pass is very smooth, with favorable terrain and geological conditions on both sides, making bypass the cliffs a viable plan. For routes that cross directly through cliffs or canyons, the plane and profile are limited by the shape of the riverbank and flood levels, with little room for maneuver. It's worth noting that this plan is not suitable when the flood level is too high or severe snow accumulation occurs. Direct crossing of canyons can be chosen based on different factors such as riverbed width, hydrological conditions, and the steepness of the riverbank. The direct crossing plan mainly includes competing with the river, occupying part of the riverbed, and hard cutting into the rock wall, requiring the 3 factors mentioned above for selection. Let's learn about the competing with the river, occupying part of the riverbed method. Depending on the potential compression of the riverbed, it is divided into the following 2 situations. The first type is suitable for wide riverbeds, where the flood stage doesn't rise much after compression, and protection engineering should be carried out on the side near the water. The second type, when the riverbed is narrow and the flood level rises significantly after compression, it is appropriate to combine road building with the riverbank like this. The second direct crossing method is hard cutting into the rock wall. The specific measures are as follows. Let's look at the first type. Choose to cut the subgrade into the rock wall, utilizing most of the discarded earth into nearby sections while considering the impact of the dispersed waste on the water level, raising the line or clearing the river channel like this. Now, let's look at a case of hard cutting into the rock wall. This is the Cliff Hang Highway in Taihang Mountains, Xiyagou, carved out of cliffs with hammers and chisels by the people of Xiyagou, spanning 7.5 kilometers long, with distinctive era features and irreplicability. Therefore, we should learn not only the method of route selection, but also the spirit of the great national craftsmen of our predecessors. The second situation is when the rock quality on the riverbank is good. It's possible to carve a half tunnel to reduce rock and waste like this. Below is an example of an actual project with a half-tunnel highway like this. As you can see from the image, the highway has good rock quality on one side and no falling rocks on the surface, making it a unique highway route. The third situation is when hard cutting into a rock wall subgrade encounters individual gaps or short sections that are not wide enough. Half bridges or protruding platforms can be used for treatment like this. The last situation is when the rock walls on both sides are very close and not suitable for cutting into the subgrade. A water-following bridge can be built. Below is an example for you. This is the Guzhao Highway, also known as the Husband Bridge. To avoid destroying the natural landscape, this road was built for 4 kilometers in the stream of a canyon, China's first waterborne eco-friendly highway. Look, doesn't it perfectly combine highway engineering with the environment, practicing the concept of ecological civilization and protecting green water and mountains? So, from today's lesson, we know that highway routing should be adapted to local conditions, combining different factors to choose a reasonable plan. Only by selecting a reasonable highway route can we ensure driving safety. That's all content for this lecture. Goodbye, everyone.